Hi, cousins, and welcome to the Sunday Reset podcast. I'm your host, Alicia J., and I'm so glad you came to spend a few minutes of your time with me today. I see you're growing and you're glowing, and I love this look on you, but you know you're supposed to be working on your purpose, right? You don't know what it is, and you don't know where to start? Yeah, let's talk about it. This week's scripture is Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, and always acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Your purpose is predestined, and the best part of purpose is that it already exists and is path before you. God's ultimate design is greater than you could ever imagine. And in a world of negativity and pressures, it's easy to feel lost. But whether you're at a crossroads or you're just curious about the path ahead, this episode is for you. We'll talk about looking inwards to find your purpose, and then what defining your purpose looks like. I'll tell you about why I'm dedicated and determined to stay focused on my purpose and alignment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you gain some value and comfort from my video. It helps the algorithm get this video out to more people like you. Before we can define and deepen our purpose, let's talk about what it is and how to find it. Purpose is the reason we were created and the reason why we exist. I know that sounds really profound, but it truly can't be simplified more than that. Purpose isn't limited or defined by the people you support, your financial status, roles you have, or environment that you're in. It's more so about your contribution to God's kingdom on earth and your perspectives that you gain. Your purpose, coupled with your faith, grounds you. It gives you a reason to look forward, be hopeful, and resilient. Oftentimes, we know what our purpose in life is at an early age. For me, I had always been drawn to activities and events that encouraged and enlightened people. I valued and found great resolve in dedicating my time and my words to society, whether that had been through prayer, open conversation, singing, or even through this podcast. Throughout my life, I had been exposed to several key moments that helped me recognize the core of my purpose. And once I defined it, it's been hard to avoid deepening it and seeing the connections through the things that happened in my life. So how do you discover your purpose? Here are 5 different topics that you can think about. What are some challenges or lessons that you've learned over the years? What energizes you? Like, what brings you happiness and positive energy when you do it? What are you good at? What's your natural talents and strengths? What causes or issues resonate with you the most? What did your inner child focus on when you were younger? What does your inner voice encourage you to do? Once you answer those questions, you can take some time to meditate over your answers and find the commonalities between them. You should be able to gain some valuable clues and insight from your own answers. And when I was thinking about topics for the podcast, I felt drawn to speak about purpose. I knew that from a young age, I was supposed to help people through sound and words. I was a creative at heart. I loved music, culture, and connections. And if someone asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always said I wanted to start off by being a lawyer for children's rights and to work my way up to being the president of the United States. Big goals for a 10-year-old, but that feeling of helping people never went away. And when I was 16 years old, I started a group called the Healing Tree of Charlotte, which focused on developing healthy habits with children in middle school that had been identified as high risk. I partnered with my local police department, therapists, and school counselors to set up sessions that provided support and guidance for these students. They were high risk for depression and bullying, and I wanted to give them a space that encouraged them instead of bringing them down. I even created an open mic event that raised donations to support a related cause. I was fired up by the impact that I had and the responses that I was receiving from both the children and the parents impacted. I just knew that if I could resonate with one kid, I was headed in the right direction. Another thing about the experience that I had is the importance of timing and how it relates to purpose. I had an idea for this program around November of 2015. I started executing it in 2016. It was a slow and long process to get clearance and approvals, but I did. After that program was done, I had the idea of creating a book to outline some of the themes that I discussed with that group. That was in early winter of 2017. And here I am, now hosting a podcast that talks about these same themes, but for an adult audience. And it's winter of 2023. Remember earlier I said that God's ultimate design is greater than you can ever imagine? Timing is a big part of that design. And I've been seeing opportunities that are around this specific purpose that encourages and validates the accuracy of my purpose work. So how can you deepen your focus and your purpose on driving that success? And why am I so focused on mine now? I'm so focused on my purpose now because I realize how short life is. I'd rather look back knowing that I was working towards something that would satisfy my soul than looking back wondering where the time went. I want to continue to separate titles from personal value and thrive in my impact. I want to be anchored and confident in my own existence. And lastly, it's bigger than me. Ultimately, I have a purpose to serve God using the talents and opportunities that He's provided to me. Whatever your purpose is, hold on to it. Plant that seed of dedication and focus to help light the fire of passion in your soul. To deepen your purpose, seek Him, meditate, and check in. You wouldn't prep your ingredients, mix them together, and not check in on its cooking completion. You'd monitor it to make sure that it actually gets cooked properly. You wouldn't want it to burn. And your purpose is kind of the same concept. You have to do the prep work, which is finding your purpose. Then you have to create a plan or strategy so that you can live in your purpose and to its greatest potential. But most importantly, you have to nurture it. And that's by holding yourself accountable and silencing the outside noise and influence to hear God's voice. Your purpose will help you find your authentic self. It may not be easy to stay focused, but the work that you put in will help you yield a better outcome. And as always, I know people like to push an agenda and shove advice down your throat, but I just want to pass on wisdom that I've acquired personally, and it can be customized to fit your own situation. Remember that I said throughout this podcast that purpose is basically a lifelong commitment, so please give yourself grace and time to deepen it. And let me know in the comments about your experience with purpose. What does it mean to you? And how will you start working towards your purposeful journey? And as always, it's been very nice speaking with you, cousins. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with a friend or two. Thank you so much for listening. And you're growing and glowing always. And I love this look on you. Bye for now and see you next Sunday.